Video is brought to you by History Info Stories. Rome wasn't built in a day, but its story. We'll tell it in an interesting way. Buckle up, because this isn't just the tale of one city. It's the saga of an empire that shaped the world as we know it. From humble beginnings to global dominance, and a collapse that still echoes through history. Welcome to the entire history of the Roman Empire. To truly understand Rome, you have to start with its foundation, a mix of myth, ambition, and murder. Let's rewind the clock to the very beginning. The mythical beginnings, Romulus and Remus. The year is 753 BCE, or at least that's what Roman legend tells us. Two brothers, Romulus and Remus, were abandoned as babies and raised by a wolf. But sibling rivalry turned deadly when Romulus killed Remus to claim the throne. Dark start, right? But from this murky legend sprang the city of Rome. Think of this like a classic underdog story, only with wolves and fratricide. Rome was just another small city-state in the Italian peninsula, overshadowed by big players like the Etruscans and Greeks. But little did the neighbors know, Rome had big ambitions. The Roman Republic, from kings to senators, fast forward to 509 BCE. The Romans had had enough of kings. They kicked out their last monarch, Tarquin the Proud, and said, "No more kings for us. We're doing this differently." They created a republic. Here's how it worked. Power was shared between elected officials like consuls and senators. Think of it like ancient checks and balances. But let's be real, this was no democracy. Women, slaves, and most of the population? No say at all. Take the story of Cincinnatus, for example. He was a farmer who was asked to become dictator to save Rome in a crisis. After winning, he gave up power and went back to his plow. That's the Roman ideal, duty to the state over personal ambition. Spoiler alert, not everyone followed this example. Conquest and expansion. Rome didn't stay small for long. They started conquering their neighbors, one by one. By 146 BCE, they defeated their biggest rival, Carthage. Ever heard the phrase, Carthago delenda est? It means, Carthage must be destroyed, and boy, did they destroy it. Imagine if your rival high school was so thoroughly defeated that their mascot, school colors, and even the building itself were wiped off the map. That's how Rome handled Carthage. But they weren't done. By the time of Julius Caesar, Rome had expanded from Spain to Turkey, and they weren't shy about taking what they wanted. The fall of the Republic. Enter Julius Caesar. Here's where things get messy. The Republic was great at conquering, but not so great at sharing the spoils. Generals like Julius Caesar became so powerful that they overshadowed the government. Caesar's story is the stuff of legend. He conquered Gaul, crossed the Rubicon with his army, a big no-no, and declared himself dictator for life. The senators weren't thrilled about the for life part, so they stabbed him 23 times on the Ides of March. But Caesar's death didn't save the Republic. Instead, it paved the way for something even bigger, the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, from Augustus to glory. After Caesar's death, his adopted heir, Octavian, later known as Augustus, took charge. Augustus was a genius politician who knew how to keep the Senate happy while holding all the power. Under his rule, Rome entered its golden age. Think of Augustus as the CEO who turns a failing startup into a global empire. He rebranded Rome with public works, a professional army, and bread and circuses. Yes, the Romans literally kept people entertained with free food and gladiator games. This was the age of monumental architecture, the Colosseum, the Pantheon, and roads so well built that some are still in use today. And at its peak, the Roman Empire stretched from Britain to the Middle East. the decline and fall. But all good things must come to an end. By the 3rd century CE, Rome was struggling. Barbarian invasions, economic troubles, and internal corruption chipped away at its strength. In 410 CE, the unthinkable happened. Rome was sacked by the Visigoths. Imagine if New York City or London fell tomorrow. That's how shocking this was to the ancient world. The final blow came in 476 CE when the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, fitting name, right, was overthrown. But was that the end? Not quite. The eastern half of the empire, known as Byzantium, carried on for another 1,000 years, Rome's legacy. So, what's the takeaway? Rome may have fallen, but its legacy lives on. From language and law to architecture and engineering, we're still living in the shadow of the Roman Empire. Which part of Roman history fascinates you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more epic history stories. Until next time, history lovers.